broadcasting from the world-famous LWDL studios. This is Life with Dan and Lewis. I'm Dan.
And I'm Lewis.
And we're here to talk about life and all the wonderful, magical, horrible, awful, fantastic stuff inside that four-letter word.
L-I-F-E. Life.
Before we get too far in, if you hear anything you like today, feel free to go over to buymeacoffee.com/LWDL. Your support is greatly appreciated for this little adventure we are on.
Thank you for your support.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
How's your week?
You know, it was pretty good. I was heavily medicated all week.
Uh-oh.
So it seemed like it just all ran together. My little precious daughter brought something home from school and it seemed like it only affect her and I. And I've been, all day today, I've been on cough drops, meds. You know what? I have been sipping on Dayquil like it was water. I brought a bottle of Dayquil with me to work, stuck a straw in that. Every time I felt like the cough was coming on, took a sip.
Sure.
So, pretty sure if I went pee right now, would just be nothing but Dayquil.
Straight Dayquil.
Straight.
Wow.
I think we can start our own pharmaceutical company right now.
Not so sure the FDA would be okay with us bottling your excrement.
I don't think so, but maybe along with the Dayquil that I had and all the other stuff, maybe produce our own little, something, right there. But you know what? It was a pretty good week. 4-day, work 5 days, but it was 4 days actually court. Today was my judge did a seminar, and then the other half of the day was just catching up on emails and stuff like that.
Okay. Kind of like an admin day.
Yeah, and so it wasn't bad at all. No trial.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So which was good. Got a lot of pleas and stuff done. Moved the docket. Had Monday and Thursday afternoons of mental health court. So other than that, everything was pretty good. Home life was good. Can't complain there. Besides the fact that just dealing with this, the residue of the cold, which is pretty much anytime you get sick, the cough is the last thing to go.
Sure.
And so I'm just dealing with that haggling. You finally get to rest, and then you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning with a cough attack, and you go back to sleep. You wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning with a cough attack. But other than that, no, everything is going on pretty good. Can't complain, or anything like that. So, what about you? How was your week?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Work. It's all good. There was a frustration. I'm probably letting it bother me too much, and I'm going to talk about it now, even though I probably should just let it go. But we deal with this vendor at work, and there was a comment made, and it's been sort of gnawing at the back of my mind all week. I got to let it go. So I'm going to talk about it here, and then we're going to let it go. So we're on a meeting, and the vendor team is pretty big, and they're across a couple different areas of the company.
Okay.
So there was a comment made that we're dealing with one area of the company, and the other company didn't know it. And they were like, well, make sure you include us in those emails. And I was like, okay, we'll do, but can you ask your own people to include you in your emails? Like, it's a them problem, not an us problem.
Correct.
Like, if you don't know about what your other part's doing, you need to talk to your other part, not talk to the people they're talking to.
Exactly.
It was a very weird ask. I think it was innocent at the time, but then I think when I said that, I think everyone was sort of like, oh, that was kind of weird. Just kind of a weird ask.
Yeah.
And it's sort of been gnawing at me all week, like the nerve. But I think it was an innocent ask at the time. Just they weren't thinking about like, oh, that's kind of an us problem, not a them problem.
Kind of them like thinking out loud, but they should have been thinking internally like, how come I'm not including this email? Oh, maybe I should ask my own people to include me in this.
Exactly.
I can understand that.
So that was sort of a frustration this week, and communications with that vendor is difficult all the time. So it's just sort of an added thing to that list. But you know what? I'm done talking about it now. We're gonna move on past it. Yeah. And it'll be fine. I'm sure there'll be a different issue of the day next week. I'm pretty sure that will take the place of that one. Right. Other than that, things were good. We had some crazy weather last night.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We got a ton of rain in sort of two spouts. It rained for like an hour, then stopped for like an hour, and then rained for another hour. Yeah. And I was out of power for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Wow.
And right when I was getting ready to go to bed, it was like 11:30. I'm just gonna go to sleep and call it right. I'll fix the clocks and lights in the morning and everything. Then the power came back on. So I got out of bed, fixed all the clocks, turned the lights off because some of the bulbs automatically come back on when there's a power surge or power goes on and off. So turn stuff off, get everything reset, get back in bed, and the power goes out.
Wow. That would be such a nuisance.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, it'll be fine. But the power was out for 2.5, 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours overall, and it was only back on for like 45 minutes, maybe in the middle. And it got so humid in here, it was crazy.
Wow.
Just without the AC running, and you couldn't turn fans on or anything. So I was just laying in bed, sort of, sweating and just glistening, just laying in bed.
I will be if that had happened to me, I would have been absolutely annoyed to the max.
I was pretty annoyed, but I was also tired by that point, so I just went to sleep. And when I woke up, the fan was on and the AC was on, so everything was feeling good.
It reminded me about the time I went to go visit my grandmother, who rest in peace. She lived in Louisiana, and her AC went out during the summer. 4th of July, Louisiana, swampland,
middle of the summer. Oof.
100 degrees outside.
Wow.
And I was so irritated, but at the same time, I didn't want to let my grandmother see that I was irritated.
Sure.
Because just don't want to do that to grandparents,
Right.
And so I was in shorts, had on a t-shirt. Then I was in shorts and didn't have on a t-shirt. Then I was in shorts, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go to the guest bathroom, and I just laid in the bathtub in my underwear because it was the only thing that was cool.
Yep.
And I just laid there, you know. And eventually, somebody came over and fixed it. And I remember when they fixed it and the air came back on, I took the longest nap of my life because I didn't realize how exhausted I was from the heat and from the humidity. It does play a lot on you, and you don't really realize it. And that's why, they'll tell people to make sure that you're hydrated, because during the summertime, you don't realize how much you perspire and how much water you're losing.
It's true.
And this is the reason why a lot of people get dehydrated and pass out under the heat, because you don't realize how much you perspire, how much your body is losing all the water that it needs.
Right.
And so definitely after the AC came back on, I was definitely drinking a lot of liquids after that. But I can needless to say, I can understand and feel your pain on that one with the humidity. It's a rough thing to fall asleep with like that. But sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Right. Yeah, thankfully it wasn't out too long, and like I said, by the time I woke up, everything was back on and back to normal.
Yeah. Because
What did you lose power or anything?
No, fortunately for where I live, I'm on the grid with a local hospital that's like right down the street from my house. So we typically will be probably the last people in San Antonio to lose power because of the grid that we live on. But in reference to the humidity thing, so in our bathroom is in our bedroom, and Alicia likes to take extremely hot showers, so the steam builds up. When she opens that door, I'm like, you better close that door immediately, because once the humidity hit me, I'm going to be so annoyed because I don't know, it just does something to your body. You get like sticky, clammy, but yeah, we didn't lose power at all, thankfully. Good. Alicia had picked up Aubrey after she got out of work, and then I went to go pick up Aiden because it was closer to me, being that he was at his grandmother's house. So right when one of our friends was messaging us saying that the storm was going to hit at 6:45, I was like, okay, let me get Aiden, hurry home. And on our way home, we just saw the
sky was crazy looking.
The spectacle of the spectacle of the lightning show.
Yep,
it was amazing. But at the same time, the closer I got to home, the lightning was moving closer towards where I was, and I'm just like, oh, this is kind of scary. I just want to make it home. And fortunately for us, where we live in our apartments, we have a parking garage. So needless to say, our cars will be protected. We will be protected for any hail that came. But Aiden and I got home, and probably about 10, 15 minutes after we got home, I could start hearing the hail hit the windows and stuff. So I was just like, thankfully we're home. We don't have to worry about anything and everything from there. So we had a little bit of rumble from thunder, but nothing too crazy.
Right.
There was a point to where we turned off everything and just let everything die down for about like a good 5-10 minutes. And then the kids went back to like playing on their electronics and stuff. But other than that, it was pretty good. Nothing too serious.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, and I had bowling this week, so I'm back to doing bowling, and I'm both running the league and I'm playing bowling. Playing? Do you play bowling? You bowl.
You bowl.
So I'm both a bowler and the rep for the league, and it was a lot of fun. It made things go by so much quicker. At least for the section that I'm in. So the league is split into a 6:30 time and an 8 o'clock time, and you can like move back and forth between it because I have so many teams. So I was in the 6:30 time this week. So it made that time just fly past really quick. And the 8 o'clock time was fun because it was returning teams, almost all of them, and so it was just like hanging out with friends. It was a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a good season. I really do.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, good thing that you enjoyed it and had fun and was able to get your bowl in and everything like that.
I will say I've forgotten how uncomfortable bowling alley bowling shoes are. There's like no support in them. They're just, they're sort of wide, flat. It's like walking on cement in bare feet. That's what it felt like. I was so thankful after we were done bowling. I could put my tennis shoes back on and hang out for the second half of the league.
Right, there you go. Yeah, they are very uncomfortable.
I don't think you notice it when you're just bowling and sitting down and drinking and hanging out. But cause I'm walking around the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm checking on the other teams, making sure everyone's doing all right. It's a lot of walking to do in very uncomfortable bowling shoes.
Yeah, I would totally agree. Because, like you said, you get about, let's say, 2-3 hours of bowling in. You're having a good time. You put your regular shoes back on, you're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
My feet feel weird. Like, what's going on here?
I want to like get like my own bowling shoes that are more like tennis shoes. But at the same point, like the alley's going to give you shoes. Like, why spend money on it?
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe someday.
I mean, if you bowl as much as you golf, then maybe it'll be something that you invest in. But if it's just like,
it's once a week for 6 weeks and then I'm off for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's worth it. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
You be the judge.
So that was kind of fun. And then, that and just in general, when I'm driving in the car, I like to listen to podcasts. So I found a new podcast called How to Bribe a Judge. And we're not going to go super in depth onto it here, but it is dealing with a case of a judge and attorneys that worked and still work in the courthouse that we work in.
Yes.
It's a very, very interesting podcast. I highly, highly suggest it to anyone that has any interest in the legal field.
Definitely.
How to Bribe a Judge, available anywhere podcasts are available.
I will say this. After talking to Dan, all of our listeners who work within the courthouse arena and that have been there for at least 10 years, you'll be very familiar with this case. Mm-hmm. Go in it and listen to it from, don't be biased.
Yes.
And just listen.
Right.
And then you can form your opinion. Because when...
And think critically about what is being said. So the first 2 or 3 episodes have the former judge as the interviewee. Mm-hmm. So it's really allowing him to explain his side of the story and sort of fill in some blanks that haven't been explained before.
Exactly.
And I would encourage anyone that listens to it to don't go into it thinking, oh, he's just lying to exonerate himself. He's going to actually reference that a lot. And he's going to explain why he's talking and everything. Of course, he's going to try to make himself look better.
Yeah.
But if you don't prejudge it and you just take it for what he's saying and think about it a little bit, things may not be exactly as it seems.
Exactly.
Very interesting.
So, if you're familiar, if you work or familiar with the case, please drop us an email. Give us your take on it. You know, you may agree with us, you may not agree with us. But like as we say, we always like to share people's opinions and viewpoints on it. So just drop us a line at lifewithdanlewis@gmail.com and let us know how you feel.
Definitely. Other than that, there's a few things TV wise. I don't watch a ton of TV, but this week there's a few like really good things I had to watch.
Okay.
So it started last week. We were over at a friend's house for a birthday party, and we got sucked in. Well, I got sucked into. You were sort of indifferent. Yeah. We got sucked into Love Is Blind season 4.
The part I did pay attention to, it was definitely good. I'm not a big reality TV fan, but I would say that it was definitely interesting. And yeah,
I wouldn't say I'm a fan of reality TV either, but I get sucked into the the drama part of it. I don't like the editing part of it.
Okay.
Like when you can tell it's been edited and like,
Yeah.
so this is a real simple example of something I wouldn't like. So if we recorded this podcast and we're drinking our drinks, if the level in the glass constantly changed and you can tell that we're editing things in a different order than it happened, that would really bug me in a show.
Yeah.
Now that show gets away with it because they have this like sort of signature glass that is a metal gold painted glass. So you can't see the liquid levels. So you can't tell how they're editing it, other than you can sort of follow a storyline and you can say, well, I bet you they talked before this happened. And
yeah.
So there's a lot of that going on. I don't like that. I don't like how they edit more suspense into a story or whatever. Like I would prefer to watch it more like Big Brother. I like the Big Brother feeds that are uncut where you can just like watch what's actually happening, not the edited parts.
Yeah.
So for what it's worth, so we binged watched like 6 or 7 episodes.
Yeah.
Because we were trying to get them in before the live episode happened. Well,
exactly.
For anyone that was trying to watch that live episode, we know that it didn't happen that night, or it didn't happen for everyone.
Womp, womp,
yeah.
womp.
So we did all this work watching the show and then didn't get the payoff. But then I finally was able to watch it Tuesday night or Monday night. I watched it. And it was good. It was a reunion episode. I didn't realize it had been a year since the end of that season and the reunion episode.
Wow.
So these people that got married in that last, not married in quotes, they got real married in that last episode have been married for a year now.
Oh, wow.
So that was sort of interesting. It was interesting to hear that, their take on the first year of married life and everything. And then it was interesting to hear that, one of the couples that broke up did actually go on some dates after to see if they could get back together, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was interesting. It was good. I was very happy to watch that. That was very enjoyable for, it was a hour and a half long or whatever. Watched it after work one day. It was really a lot of fun.
I will say this, some people will say, wait, well, like if it's, 60 days after meeting somebody, like that's too soon to get married. But just because it's on TV, this happens in everyday life,
Sure.
That's not in TV. I have known couples, I've seen couples who have only known each other for maybe 30, 45 days or whatever. And they have that connection, they have that spark, and they feel like, hey, you know what? Like, this is my person. And, they get married. And then, next they're married for 15, 20, whatever amount of years. I don't necessarily... It changed my viewpoint. And I don't necessarily think that you have to have known each other for... a year, 2 years or longer, and they get married. If you meet somebody and you have that connection, you have that spark, and within your soul that this is your one, and you just have to get married, then more power to you.
Yeah, exactly. Did you watch the reunion special?
You
did not.
I did not.
All right.
Did not.
Well, we won't get real deep into that. So another thing that happened this week, the season finale of Mandalorian. I'm not going to get too deep into spoilers or anything, but I was disappointed. So online, everyone was raving about how great it was and how it really tied everything up. And sure, but it tied everything up in a Disney way, happily ever after.
Huh.
And that show's not really known for that, and that Star Wars universe isn't really known for that. And I wanted there to be more. Everything worked out, and I wish it wouldn't have. I wish it would have been twistier. There are some things that it's like they were primed to add some twists and turns, and they just didn't. It was very straightforward episode, and everything just worked out. So I don't know, sort of disappointing. It was a fine episode, but I just wish it would have been twistier and turnier. And then the final thing I watched, and I was really excited for this, was the Power Rangers Once and Always. Okay. So it's a reunion Power Rangers episode. It's from Mighty Morphin, so it's the original Rangers.
Okay.
And so of the original 5 Rangers, So of the original 5 Rangers, 2 of them are dead now. The actress that played the Yellow Ranger died quite a few years back, and then the actor that played the Green Ranger died just recently. Yeah. Actually, after filming on this Would Have Rat, but he actually wasn't filming this either. So it was good. It was like watching an hour-long Power Rangers episode. It was really good. But you could tell that it should have been a 3-hour movie. Okay. They cut a bunch of plot lines. You could tell stuff was missing, and they definitely intended there to be a Green Ranger storyline. And whether they cut it when he said he wasn't going to be able to participate, or whether they were intending to refilm it and then he died, I'm not sure. But either way, like the Green Ranger's there sometimes, and you could tell like that should have been a dialogue scene there, and they cut it.
Yeah.
And that fight scene should have been like this, and they changed it.
Yeah.
So there was just some things like that I didn't like, and then they didn't explain the premise of the movie. So it just started, and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are in a fight, and you're like, okay, well then they demorph, and they're 30 years older, which doesn't make sense in the Power Rangers universe because in that universe they have sort of passed the mantle on.
Yeah.
So some of them have come back and as like guest stars and special episodes and whatnot, and Billy, the Blue Ranger, has been involved in a lot of series as like a tech consultant to the team.
Yeah.
But it didn't explain why the team's back together.
Yeah.
It was very odd. So I was like, okay, we'll just go with it. Maybe they'll do a flashback. No, they didn't really do a flashback or anything.
Yeah.
And then they referenced the other Rangers, like the universe as we know it still exists, but somehow they're still the Power Rangers, which is just very weird.
Yeah, so there's no connection to the ancestors that have went before them, and then now it's them, and then it's just weird.
But yeah, and like at one point, some of the support team for I think it's Rangers in Space or Alien Rangers, I forget which ones it was, are like there. So like the other Rangers exist clearly in this universe. I think they just cut the storylines that were going to involve the other Ranger lines.
Yeah.
So the whole premise of this thing is that Rita is like collecting Rangers with these monsters. This monster like grabs them, freezes them, and she shrinks them down. And she's collecting them, and she uses them to create a time portal so she can go back in time and take over the world again. So like they shows that she collected some of the other Rangers, but they show them like in like the statues in the machine, but they didn't show the fight. It was just really weird. It's like you have all this great stuff to work with, and they didn't execute. They just did not execute. And it's just disappointing. You know, Power Rangers has been on as long as I've been watching TV, and I haven't watched it always, but I that's one of my background shows.
Yeah.
If I want something just like mindless, I can put on in the background. I'll put on some season of Power Rangers.
When I was younger, I was a Blue Ranger.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably would have gravitated towards Red Ranger, but Blue Ranger is I like the Blue Ranger too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nerdy glasses.
Exactly. Yeah. Red Ranger probably. Well, I'm a Green Ranger fan too because that's like the good or bad turned good.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for that kind of storyline.
Yeah. True.
So I don't know.
That kind of would fit your personality.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. Anyways, it was kind of disappointing, but it was still fun. Still fun as a Power Rangers episode. Just disappointed that they didn't, use all this material that they have to create a great reunion episode.
Yeah, and carry through with it. Interesting.
Also, Amy Jo Johnson, the original Pink Ranger, does not act anymore, so she was not in it.
What?
I know. So they used the second Black Ranger and the second Pink Ranger in like the lineup that we saw.
Oh shit.
So it was the black actor as the Black Ranger, not the Asian guy. And it was the Australian chick as the Pink Ranger, not Amy Jo Johnson. So it was like an almost original lineup. Oh, and then they did kind of do a cool thing with the Yellow Ranger because she died back in like 2002, I think. So it's her character's daughter that took on the mantle of Yellow Ranger. And they did do it kind of cool, and spoilers here. So like they had her mom's morpher and like a little like they had like a bookshelf with like mom picture on it and stuff, and then they had the morpher sitting there. And at one point she stole the morpher and tried to use it, and it wouldn't work for her. So then like one of the other Rangers took it back and was like, it doesn't work that way. You have to be chosen. All this kind of stuff, right? Well, then they get in a fight and she's the only one left and has to save them, and it's inside her like pocket, and it starts glowing. So she pulls it out, and like the glow like spreads up her arm, and then they're like, "Oh my god, it chose you!" And then she gets to lead them in like a morph sequence, which it was a really cool like way to tie in that character.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Yeah. That is pretty awesome.
That was the best part. That storyline, her storyline, was the best part of that whole thing. But the lack of a Green Ranger was really strange, and then the lack of explaining why the original Rangers were rangering again was kind of strange. But you know what? They did the best they could with what they had, and I get that. They didn't get to film Green Ranger material before he died, so
that's very unfortunate. But you know what?
It almost would have felt better though if they would have had a new Green Ranger and somehow explained it somehow.
Yeah.
Instead of, it's like kind of ambiguous. So now, if this takes place, current day in that universe, there's sort of no explanation for what's going on.
Yeah.
It just sort of ends and like it doesn't really. So maybe the next season, I don't know. This is very geeky, in-depth Power Rangers talk.
Yeah.
But
as you can tell, Power Rangers was a major part of both Dan and I's.
The show's been around since '94. I mean, it's been around as long as we've been around, practically watching TV.
Yeah, exactly.
So, definitely
something of our youth.
Yeah. Well, what's in your cup? It's an interesting color, that's for sure.
Yeah, I am trying to find all types of ways to fight this cough. So I got some Rumple Mints and Fruit Punch C4 energy drink.
Okay, so minty, fruity. I'll let it pass. Compared to last week's drink, this is tame.
Yep, that's definitely true.
Yeah, I went classic today. I just did Jack and Coke.
Nice.
Coke Zero, of course, but other than that, Jack and Coke.
And how was it?
Good. I probably haven't had a Jack and Coke in a long time.
Probably, at least I know, for 3 weeks when you went to the Brahmas game and Alicia bought you a Jack and Coke?
Other than at the Brahmas games.
Yeah.
So I did have one last week at the Brahmas game. That's right. I haven't made one at home in a long, long time.
Homemade.
Yeah, homemade.
Jack and Coke.
That's right.
We've been experimenting with our
we've been doing a lot of old fashions.
Summertime drink. Trying to find
vodka soda limes.
Yeah.
Different gin drinks. Negronis. I did see a recipe for a white Negroni I might try to make. It has Lillet in it, and we like Lillet because I was making Negronis with Lillet and Campari.
Yeah.
For a while. So instead of vermouth, we were using Lillet, which is like a white fortified wine instead of a red fortified wine.
We did find a new old fashioned that we like, the honey apple old fashioned.
Yeah.
We need to try.
We've talked about that before, but we haven't made it at home yet. Yeah.
No, we haven't.
We do need to try making it at home. I need to make some kind of a honey syrup.
Yeah, that's coming on the list. Well, they actually use like organic honey.
Okay.
When they made it, I was kind of watching the guy and stuff. But yeah, something that we can experiment with.
We do need to do that still. I'll put that on the list. Maybe we'll try the honey apple old fashioned and a white Negroni.
There you
go. Sort of a tasting night one night.
Yeah.
Before we tell you about our friends, we'd like to ask you to be our friend too. Life with Dan and Lewis is actively looking for new brands, people, podcasts, and companies to partner with. If you're interested, drop us a note at lifewithdanandlewis@gmail.com.
That's lifewithdanandlewis@gmail.com.
Remote working, remoting. Follow along on a new journey, new job, new facility, new coworkers, and a new normal. Remote working, remoting. Inspired by real life, enhanced by imagination. Follow along at remotingblog.com.
Remoting blog.
Eating gluten and dairy-free can be challenging. GFDF Eating aims to show all the delicious food you can make and buy without sacrificing taste, diversity, or quality. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at GFDF Eating.
That's GFDF Eating.
We'd like to hear from you. After all, we are doing this for your entertainment. Drop us a note and let us know where you're listening from, or if you have ideas for new segments, things you'd like us to stop doing, do more of, less of, or anything at all. Email us at lifewithdanandlewis@gmail.com.
That's lifewithdanandlewis@gmail.com.
Hey, so you sent over a quick little clip from a motivational channel. I did a little bit of research on it, and the guy's name is Eric Thomas.
Yes.
And he goes by at the Hip Hop Preacher on TikTok. So I thought I'll hit play here, we'll listen to it, and then we'll discuss a little bit.
Yep.
Don't complain. Don't talk negative. That's average people talk normal. Average people talk problems. The greats talk solutions.
Don't complain. Don't talk negative. Don't talk normal. Average people talk normal. The greats talk solutions.
Correct. Which went into a podcast that we did about maybe 2 episodes ago,
Okay.
where I was saying that like you have to control your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
You have to steer away from negative thoughts. I'm not saying that negative thoughts aren't going to come, and I'm not saying that sometimes you're not going to give in to negative thinking or negative talks. But what we're saying is when you recognize that you're going to the negative, switch it and go towards the positive.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you look at it in today's world, in everyday life, everybody is complaining about something. But if you look at these people who are great, or these people who are making changes, these people who are, you know, the ones who are what people would say are ruling the world, they don't concern themselves with just every regular day things of, you know, complaining about this, complaining about that. They're working on looking at solutions. What can, you know, help this? What can help that? And if you think about it, you know what? Quit complaining about things that you cannot change because they're going to always be there.
True.
You know, you walk outside in the summer in South Texas, it's going to be hot. Stop complaining about it. It's just going to be hot. You don't like it? Move from South Texas.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what? Stop complaining about stuff that you can't fix because it's not doing you any good. It's only bringing your morale down, and it's bringing a hindrance to people who are around you down.
Yeah.
So let's talk about things that we can change, things that we can do to further better ourselves, better humanity, to help one another. Dan and I are on this big thing that like we're not going to do anything that's not going to help somebody else.
Yeah.
If you change your thinking from negative to positive, then you can be able to expand your horizon and be able to help somebody else.
Right.
So if you stop complaining about, oh, it's hot, then if you start thinking for the positive, okay, well, let me go out and buy 5 box fans and give it to the elderly who may not have central AC and heating so that way they can be cool. Change your negative way of thinking, use it for the positive, and in reality, you can change your environment and the people that are around you.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember exactly what the thing I have written on the board is. And it's I have two things written on my board. And the first one has been there the longest. And it's, does this help people? True. And it's sort of a guiding principle. And I started using it at work.
Yes.
For when I was trying to prioritize and determine, you know, where my efforts need to be focused. And it's does this help people?
Yeah.
And not only my county work, but then in all our side projects too.
Yeah.
That's sort of our guiding light. The second one is, I'm not going to be able to remember the exact quote, but it's something like, do things today that bring you closer to the person you want to be tomorrow.
Yes.
And those sort of go hand in hand, because you are also people.
Yeah.
So do things that help people is also doing things that are helping yourself. So it's twofold there, you know.
Yeah.
But the goal, the bottom line there is, it's not talking about what happened. It's not complaining about what happened. It's not complaining about what's now. Talking about what's now. It's looking at the future.
Exactly.
And finding solutions to move from the now to the there.
Yeah.
And get there.
I watched a clip on TikTok. I watched a clip on TikTok, and the person was talking about, they said it from a God's perspective. They said maybe God isn't blessing you financially because you're selfish and you only use the money for yourself.
Sure.
So let's change that up. If you believe in God, that's fine. But since we're talking about life with Dan and Lewis and we want to include everybody, so whether it's God, whatever religious figure you want to use, or the universe, if you only want to get rich to benefit yourself, maybe that's your hindrance from getting financial wealth. From our aspect is, when Dan and I become rich and financially stable, the money that we have is not just to,
to do greater good than just ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah. Like there's talks and stuff that we have talked about of how we can come together to better humanity and do things to help the ones around us. Yeah. And I think that, becoming financially stable and financially wealthy, it is for you to be able to help the others that are around you. I'm not saying, you go out and make the next person that's next to you a multimillionaire, but if you can educate them in some sort of way to get them from the place where they are now to a better place where they can be tomorrow in their future,
Sure.
then that's using the talents that you have in order to help and better somebody else.
Yeah, agreed.
So, let's make the challenge.
Yeah.
Do you want to be a ordinary, just normal, everyday person? Or do you want to be somebody that's great?
Yeah.
It all starts with your train of thought and your thinking. And like I said, sometimes the negative thoughts are going to come, but once you recognize that that's a negative thought, you dismiss it and you try to change that negative thought into a positive thought, and you just keep on moving on from there.
Sure thing. Let's hear the words from E, the hip hop preacher, one more time, and I'll include his link in the description below if you'd like to hear more about him, find out where you can get his books and all that kind of stuff.
Don't complain. Don't talk negative. That's average people talk normal. Average people talk problems. The greats talk solutions. Don't complain. Don't talk negative. That's average people talk normal. Average people talk problems. The greats talk solutions. Don't complain. Don't talk negative. That's average people talk normal. Average people talk problems. The greats talk solutions.
So I found another article I thought we'd talk about tonight, and this one's a little more lighthearted.
Okay.
And it's an article it was posted originally back in, over a year ago, back in March of 2022. But I still found it quite interesting, and it is the 100 greatest snacks of all time, ranked. It's a Thrillist article. We'll have the link in the description below. But I thought, we're not going to read people all 100 things, but I thought we'd talk about maybe the 10 on the bottom, the 10 on the top, and maybe if we have any other ones that come to mind, we'll see where they ranked.
Let's go for it.
All right, so starting from the bottom, premium saltines. I can agree with that. It's a snack. It does the trick, but nothing real fancy there. It's sort of the basic of crackers. It's the baseline. Next up is the David sunflower seeds. I don't know if the brand matters so much there, but sunflower seeds. We'll even be specific here about plain sunflower seeds, not any of the flavored ones. I think that deserves a spot there at $9.99.
Really? That low on the list?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to get a ranch flavor or a barbecue flavor or some kind of spice on it, I think it can get up there, maybe up into the 60s or so. But yeah, plain old sunflower seeds, $99.
Okay.
98 is, it says Italian taralli. I have no idea what these are. It says these are niche, but anyone who frequents Italian delis knows that you can't leave without grabbing a bag of these breadstick. Oh, it's those thin breadstick crackers.
I'm very familiar with those.
I don't know. I kind of like those.
I like those.
They're good on a charcuterie board to bring variety. Because sometimes you get like the little crostinis that are like rough and crunchy, and those breadsticks are smooth and crunchy. So it's like a different texture thing.
You know why I like these? Due to my history. When I became a diabetic 31 years ago, this was a snack that was approved for me to have.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
So it must have had just some kind of proper glycemic index.
Yeah.
That it was like, that's an okay snack.
This had that dipped in peanut butter.
Okay, interesting. Oh, no, 97, 96, and 95, I all disagree with now. These are quality snacks that are ranked low on the list. So we have Welch's fruit snacks. So fruit snacks broadly should not be this low on the list.
Yeah.
And Welch's are particularly good. So I'm disappointed in that. And following right up with fruit snacks, Mike and Ike's. Those are one of my favorite candies, specifically the blue box, the berry tropical or the berry mix blue box.
Oh, not the hot ones?
No, I don't like hot cinnamon candy.
Oh.
As much as we like Fireball to drink, I don't like cinnamon candy.
Oh,
weird, right?
Yeah.
I do like cinnamon Altoids though. I don't know why. I don't like chewy cinnamon.
Just certain things.
Yeah. Number 95, another one that I'm not sure why it's so low on the list, corn nuts. And we'll glance through the list here. I don't see it listed here anywhere else. So I think they're actually lumping all corn nuts into one snack. Again, not fair. Regular corn nuts,
okay,
low grade snack.
Yeah.
Barbecue corn nuts, high grade snack.
Yeah, I can see that. Newton's.
We skipped one there. The popcorners. That's kind of a newer newer thing. That can stay down low. I haven't been thrilled with that.
Yeah, me neither.
Number
Newtons.
93. Is that the Fig Newtons? Like the cookie?
I would gather that's what they're talking about. Pretty much the Fig Newtons.
Yeah. See, I like those a lot. They make really good gluten-free versions of those. I haven't had them in a while. I haven't been able to find them. But I do like those a lot.
So when my daughter was a little over 1, we used to get those for her. She used to love the hell out of them. And so
there's a brand, I think it's called Nature's Bakery, that makes a bomb gluten-free one in blueberry and raspberry.
oh wow.
I never heard of this next one.
Me neither.
Vero Mango. Oh, it's the chili covered. So there's a lot of chili covered lollipops out there: watermelon, tamarind, strawberry. But the Vero Mango is the original one. So that's the little mango hard candy with the chili seasoning on it. Down here in South Texas, we are very, very familiar with candy that is coated in chili seasoning.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of any of it, so
Nah,
that can
skip.
stay down low.
Yep.
91 donut holes. That's a good snack. Actually, I would call that a dessert. So you know what? If as a snack, we can keep it low on the list. But if we're ranking desserts, I think that goes up higher.
Yeah, it's all right.
So I'm going to skip through a little bit here. I saw one of my favorite things down here, number 87, Junior Mints. That is the best candy on the market today. I am appalled that it is at 87 on the list. It is a vegan, gluten-free, delicious delight.
You need to calm yourself down
I'm
there,
just
sir.
saying. And not only is it delicious in its regular form, the seasonal varieties are perhaps some of the most perfect seasonal candies also. Valentine's Day, they come out in little heart shapes and they're a little bit bigger, so you get a little different chocolate to mint ratio. Easter, they came out with egg-shaped ones that were pastel color. Again, a little more mint to chocolate ratio. So good.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you can tell that Mr. Brewer here, Dan Brewer, is a Junior Mint connoisseur.
I am.
I would like to bring out number 89, Swiss Rolls. Those are one of the snacks when I became a diabetic and they told me I couldn't have any sweets anymore. Was one of the things I stole the most.
Really?
From
Swiss rolls.
Family members' houses. Because, I mean, it was sweet but not sweet.
The Swiss rolls are the Little Debbie version of the Hostess Ho-Ho, right?
Correct.
Okay. So they're rolled and they have like a hard chocolate like shell kind of.
And some of them was like the Swiss roll and it had the pecans. It's almost like a small miniature like cinnamon roll type thing.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, needless to say,
if I had to pick like one of those prepared baked good type things, I think it's going to be Twinkie.
I'm really addicted to Twinkies.
Okay.
Yeah. But also number 88 on the list, I had a clerk to fill it in my court one time and she was like, this is, she was like, you have to try this. My daughter and my whole family, I tried it and I was just like,
I feel like I just licked the ocean.
It's one of those ones.
Seaweed snacks is what we're talking about, folks. You know, the little packages you get that have the little squares of seaweed in it. I don't get that.
Yeah, it's one of those.
I love sushi, but I do not like seaweed snacks by itself.
No. I have to put on a fake smile. I'm like, oh yeah, this is good. And then I go back to my office and spit it out because it's disgusting.
I agree.
And number 86 on the list, graham
crackers are good.
Honey
They deserve
made
to be higher
grams.
than that.
Another snack that when I became a diabetic that they told me that I can have, and it was definitely good.
So scrolling through the list here, Swedish Fish at number 78. That deserves to be higher too. Nerds. See, Nerds is a tough category. I love Nerds. I like the Halloween boxes where you get the little boxes with the pink and the grape Nerds in it.
Yeah.
But more importantly, I like the Nerds rope and the Nerds, like the little pieces of Nerds rope covered in Nerds. I think they called them, I forget what they called them now. I almost like jelly bean things. So Nerds, I could go higher in the list.
Number 71, Triscuits. Another one of my faves.
Ooh, yeah, I used to love those.
It should be higher than 71.
Yep. Hey, Nutter Butter's right below that. I don't know how any peanut butter snack can get that low down on the list. Peanut butter's a great snack.
Yep.
As we're scrolling through here, jerky, the whole category of jerky comes in at 65. That's a bold choice there because it says they're lumping jerky from beef to turkey to vegan options, including mushrooms and seitan, all in one category and putting it down at 65. You know what? I'll agree to put it at 65, but we're going to lump everything in together because we all know vegan jerky, questionable choices.
Yeah. Fruit roll-ups should be right there with the fruit snacks.
Agreed. That falls into the fruit snack category and also deserves to be higher up on the list than 64 where it's at.
Really? 63 wafers? That stuff is disgusting.
Malted milk balls, is that what that is? The chocolate coated Yeah.
Yeah.
Overly sweet, kind of a weird texture, weird melty thing going on.
Yeah, they
That
should
should
be
be down at
like
the bottom.
number like 1,000.
Agreed.
Whatchamacallit? Oh, whatchamacallit? That should not be at number 62.
Hey, I'm seeing handy snacks at number 51. Those are the pudding cups.
Mm.
Is that really a snack? I guess so. Some of the definitions of snack here are questionable.
Yeah.
As we're getting up into the 30s, Rice Krispie treats come in at 39, and I'll agree to that if we're talking the store-bought one. But if we're talking homemade cereal treats with your, any variety of cereal you want with marshmallow, sort of binding it together, that's way higher than 39.
Wow, Dan just went in on that.
You ever done that with like Chex or Cheerios instead of Rice Krispies? Man,
At your
make
house,
some
yes.
crazy ass concoctions there. You can do it with like Fruity Pebbles,
Mm-hmm.
make some crazy stuff. Sour candy as the whole category at number 37. I disagree there. Both sour gummy worms and warheads should be called out separately and should be higher in the list than that.
The flip 36 chickpeas. What the hell?
Who eats chickpeas as a snack?
Not me.
That's a legume. That's not a
Right.
snack.
Down in the swamplands.
Right. Hey, oatmeal cream pies at number 27. That is one thing that I miss from being gluten-free.
Oh, wait.
Did I skip something?
Yes, one of my faves, number 34, bugles.
I had no idea that you were a bugle guy.
Oh yeah, you used to put them on your fingers and just eat them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you used to do the fingernails.
Yep.
Yeah, buddy. Okay, now we're gonna go back to what number was that you said?
Oh, I don't know. I'm past it now. Oatmeal cream pies at number 27. Hey, pork rinds. So we don't eat pork rinds as much. We eat is chitlins
Yeah.
that we eat the crunchier part.
Yes.
Number 25. I think I can agree with that.
Yeah.
It's like a top tier snack, but not quite at the very top.
Yeah. Chocolate covered pretzels.
Eh,
Yeah. I don't think that should be number 19.
no. Chex Mix at 18. Again, delicious in the bag or homemade.
Yeah.
Just a great snack. I agree with that. That should be at the top like that.
At your old house, we made some one time over the fire, and it was really good because you get that naturally roasted flavor.
We made Chex Mix over the fire?
Yeah. You don't remember?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm struggling with how we would make that over the fire.
Because you had your big wok skillet,
Uh-huh.
and you had like regular Chex Mix, and we put it in there and we put some nuts in there, and like we roasted it a little bit.
I don't remember that at all. Wow.
We were drunk.
Must have been good.
Yeah, it was. Combos number 14.
Hey, nothing wrong with the combo. Bunch of different flavors too. The pizza ones.
Oh
Pretty
yeah,
good.
those are on spot.
Twix. Prior to being gluten-free, dairy-free, Twix was one of my candy bars. Twix and Snickers. I saw them both on the list. Snickers coming in at number 16 and Twix at 13. Something about that texture. You get that chewy caramel, you get the crunchy wafer or crunchy nut and peanut in the Snickers. Yeah, it's good stuff there. Lay's. So we're just going to lump all Lay's potato chips into one thing at number 12. Interesting.
Okay.
All right, coming into the top 10. Number 10, Fritos. I agree, but I am surprised.
What?
It's a very plain snack. I'm very surprised that makes it into the top 10. It's a great vehicle for dips, though. So maybe we give it an allowance for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 9, one of my favorites.
Gummy bears.
That's right. Specifically the Albanese ones.
Mm-hmm.
This is, world's greatest on the cover. Or the, Haribo is tough because some Haribos are made with a sugar syrup made from wheat. And
Yeah.
some are with a sugar syrup made from corn. So I have to kind of avoid those. But the Albanese ones or the Trolley ones are good.
Okay. Number 8, Cheez-Its. Those are my faves. I love the hell out of some Cheez-Its.
You know what I used to love? There used to be one called the Duos. There was like a Parmesan and a cheddar in one box.
Yes.
And those used to be good.
Oh my god, those are like actually murder somebody over.
Yeah. Hey, number 7, M&M's. M&M's is one of my cheat candies. I will eat a couple M&M's. I do have some tolerance to dairy, so I will eat a couple M&M's. And specifically, I like the peanut ones. And if someone's eating them and I smell them, it's very hard for me to resist. There's just a certain like distinctive smell of peanut M&M's.
Okay. Number 6, Cheetos.
I'm noticing a trend. There's a lot of cheese-related snacks in this top 10.
Yeah, Cheetos. I like. My daughter likes the regular Cheetos. I like hot Cheetos, but I only like them when I have bean and cheese tacos because I take them and I put them inside my taco.
Okay.
Oh my god, amazing.
So hot Cheetos, or actually any Cheetos, they make them both ways now. Puffy or crunchy?
Crunchy.
Crunchy. Just
Yes.
the thin ones, not the puffed up ones.
Correct.
I'm a puffy guy because there's a great Cheeto dupe made by a brand called Hip Peas. Hip Peas. It's a chickpea product.
Yes.
They're a vegan cheese and they're puffed. So they're like the puffy ones. I like them a lot.
Nice.
So I like that. I agree with that being at number 6. Number 5, Goldfish. I'm surprised because isn't Goldfish really close to Cheez-Its? Like a puffy Cheez-It kind of.
Really are.
So I'm surprised that gets its own entry. And as I remember, Goldfish are not very flavorful. Although they do make a bunch of different flavors. Maybe I'm just thinking of the original.
Yeah.
But I remember like the pizza ones or like the extreme ones.
And the colorful ones that they have out now. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Number 4, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Again, venturing into Candyland from the snack world we're in. But I do agree, a good chocolate and peanut butter combination, pretty good snack.
I really like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, but not so friendly as a diabetic.
Good point. Pringles.
Yes.
How do you feel about Pringles?
I like Pringles. Many different flavors. We buy, I have a 4 and 11-year-old, so buy the minis that comes in a variety pack. So
nice.
Everybody gets their own. And it seems like the little small variety packs is just enough, even for me as an adult and Alicia. It's just enough. It's just like, it's not
an appropriate amount.
Yeah, very much so.
Nice.
The kids get their appropriate amount. We get our appropriate amount with like if we make burgers or sandwiches or whatever. It just fits.
Sure.
I
can't eat them anymore because of the gluten thing, but I do eat the baked chips that have a very similar texture.
Definitely.
So texturally, I can get down on that.
Yeah.
Hey, number 2 is a favorite for both of us, and they make them in gluten-free varieties and newly a gluten-free mint variety that is oh so good.
I'm sorry, it just doesn't come in a sugar-free variety. But
oh man, if only we could find a sugar-free variety that didn't also have digestive impacts.
So if I ever want to say, you know what, screw diabetes, I don't give a crap, and I'm just gonna do what I want to do.
Oreos, that's how you
Number
do
2,
it.
Oreos would be my fave because the Oreos, I will capital murder somebody over. They are at the top of my list. I always bring 2 insulin pens with me when I'm going to have Oreos because I need to crank that all the way up to 100. And what do you know? Number 1 is my number 1 fave.
And I can get behind this too. There are vegan varieties of these by a few different brands, and I have tried them, and I like this idea. The idea of a tortilla chip covered in flavor.
Yes.
Also known as a Dorito.
So I thank whoever put together the survey because number 1 and number 2 are both my favorites.
I can agree with that.
As a diabetic, it may not be nice to say this over the air and my doctor listens, but I have to say I am a killer for Doritos, the nacho cheese, and I'm a killer for Oreos. Those are my 2 weaknesses.
I also like a good Cool Ranch. I'm not going to hate on that.
You know what? I will say that because sometimes when I make homemade burgers, the nice Cool Ranch, I like to take one of the buns off my burger and layer it with chips. And sometimes that Cool Ranch just hits in a certain way.
A few years back, there's also one called like a sweet Thai chili.
Yes,
that was very good.
Yes.
Now I'm hungry. We should go eat snacks.
Every so often, I like the spicy nachos.
Okay, fair enough.
So my number 1 would be nacho cheese, and then it'll be the Cool Ranch, and then the spicy nacho are my three fave Doritos.
Yeah. Hey, so we're gonna put this link below in the description. Feel free to go have a look at it and let us know where your favorite ranks.
Yeah, take a look at it, and if you want to rearrange all 100 and whatever your fave is, and then send over to us, and we'll revisit this and put your survey on the air and let the world know what you like. Feel free to make sure you send that to lifewithdanlewis@gmail.com.
That's right. Email us at lifewithdanlewis@gmail.com. Let us know where your favorite snack ranks. Anything coming up for you this week?
Well, tomorrow looks like we might be kid free for a little bit there. The older kid's going out to the grandparents, and then the younger kid is going over to Grandma Nana's for a little bit, and we're going to see what happens with her after that. But, getting over to the Brahmas game, enjoying it with some friends, and Sunday, I don't know what the hell we're going to be doing, but we'll see what life brings us at that point in time.
Sure.
What about you?
Yeah, just the Brahmas game tomorrow. I'm very excited. We did get invited to go down on the field before the game. I'm looking forward to that a lot. Like you said, we have another friend group coming with us. So there'll be all 5 of us there again. It'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully we win. We get to determine our fate here. If we win, we go to the playoffs. If we lose, we're done. Hopefully we win and we get to go to the playoffs and get to see at least one more, get to see them play at least one more game.
That's right. Horns forward.
Horns forward. That's right. Horns forward.
That's right.
Other than that, it's just going to be a normal week for me. Back to work on Monday, bowling Wednesday. Might see if I can sneak in a golf lesson somewhere there. I do have a new coach I'm working with. see if we can't sneak in a lesson sometime next week.
Yeah, I'm looking for next Friday. We have off.
Are we off next Friday?
Yeah, it's
so we're going into a 4-day week.
Battle of the Flowers.
Woo!
I'm looking forward to just like not doing anything and just sleeping in.
Agreed. Yeah, I can get behind that. I'll probably do some work around the house, just get things cleaned up and reset for spring. Almost summer now.
That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get on out of the studio for tonight and enjoying the rest of our Friday night. So, until next time, here where you can check us out.
That's right. Follow us on all the social medias. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Life with Dan and Lewis.
It's at Life with Dan and Lewis on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok.
Video episodes are now available on YouTube along with all our previous episodes in audio-only formats. Check them out. We hope to see you all there.
Check us out.
We'll be back next week with another episode. Until then, check out our new limited series, The Spotlight. New episodes will be coming in between weekly episodes of Life with Dan and Lewis throughout the year. Thanks for listening today. More episodes can be found anywhere podcasts are found and on our YouTube page and our website at lwdl.buzzsprout.com.
That's lwdl.buzzsprout.com.
Until next time, ask yourself, what have you done today to help someone else? Make good choices.
And love one another.